Did Twitter make mistakes around Alex Jones and InfoWars, around the initial announcement that no, he has not been abusing, no, he has not been over the line, but then a few days later giving him a timeout?
Well, our system works by people reporting content. So we're not in a place to proactively review everything. And we act when we receive reports. That is just, consistently enforcing our approach and our rules. People may disagree with that approach. People may say you should be a lot more proactive around all the content. And while we could do that, it requires so many resources. I mean, hours and hours and hours of looking through video content. So at the time, we did not receive reports that we felt we could take any action on that violated on our terms of service. Your colleagues at CNN pointed out a number of them. We took action on one, and then we noticed that all the others, likely because they were made known to Alex Jones and InfoWars, were being deleted. As we receive reports, we take action, and there are varying degrees of enforcement action, starting with warnings to temporary suspensions, which the accounts are now in, all the way to a permanent suspension.
Is it possible that he'll change his behavior on Twitter? You think he really might do that?
I don't know. I mean, just stepping back, like we have evidence that shows like temporary suspensions, temporary lockouts will change behavior. It will change people's approach. I'm not naive enough to believe that it's going to change it for everyone, but it's worth a shot. It's like but more importantly, it's consistent with our enforcement. Like we can't just keep changing randomly based on our viewpoints, because that just adds to the fear of companies like ours, of making these judgments according to our own personal views of who we like and who we don't like, and taking that out upon those people. That those viewpoints change over time, and that just feels random, and it doesn't feel fair, and it doesn't earn anyone's trust, because you can't actually see what's behind it.
Do you miss the days when you would just use Twitter to meet up with your friends? Because now we're talking about how it's used to cause violence.
I think it's just so important to see the world for what it is, and I don't want to live in a world where we only see the happy things and we only focus on like what makes us feel good, because we got a lot of stuff to figure out. So no, I don't miss them, because we're seeing a lot of important things that we need to finally discuss.
We're going to share the entire interview on our Reliable Sources podcast. But joining me now is Oliver Darcy, CNN senior media reporter, who's been leading the way on these questions about Alex Jones. Are Twitter's answers satisfying?
Well, one, it sounds kind of comical that he thinks that putting Alex Jones in a Twitter timeout for a week is going to really affect his behavior. But two, it sort of sounds like he's a college professor. He's dealing in hypotheticals and philosophy here. But this isn't a classroom. There are real problems that are having real impact on people's lives, and it's happening now.
I do think he's asking the right questions. But to your point, maybe he's short on answers.
Right. You asked for a timeline, for instance, on some of the stuff, and he doesn't have a timeline. But even the current policies that are put in place for reporting harassment, they don't seem to be working. And it's curious why he doesn't have any answers. He doesn't have any answers for today, right now. How can Twitter better affect the discourse on politics? And it's just kind of baffling, too.
I thought Mike Allen of Axios said it really well in his newsletter yesterday. We can put it on screen. He said tech companies right now are jammed up between, on the one hand, calls for bans on conspiracy and hate speech and fake news, but then on the other hand, this coordinated conservative uprising about being muzzled by liberal CEOs. These are very hard questions for these companies. But like you said, not many answers so far from Twitter.
No.